At Home Depot, gonna get some concrete mix and some good old mortar mix at the top. I got that from, I forgot the guy's name, something Zane everything, where on YouTube, I'll get his name, but this guy put the mortar mix on top and got the clean finish without the rocks and all the aggregate popping out. So that's kind of cool, where put the concrete on the bottom, do the deal, and then top it off with mortar mix with the roller. It's pretty much, mortar mix is like sand and cement. So what happens is it doesn't have big rocks in there, aggregate, where, you know, when you put the pure concrete, unless you're super high level like Cajun Country and them, and get a clean screed, it's a little bit easier because there's no rocks in it. So when you screed it, roll it, it's just pure sand and cement, pretty much like powder, with a clean finish. All right, so I'll be back in a little bit with more progress. Here I got the form put together, ready to lay it down and get to work. Prepping the ground here with the shovel, preparing to level it out, but right now just kind of digging out the outline, getting ready for the next steps. This next step in the process, I'm using a metal rake to level out the ground, move around some excess dirt that I'm going to use later on to backfill the form so the concrete doesn't pour out the side. Using my hand tamper to go ahead and compact the ground, getting ready to go ahead and put down the form so I can level out the form, and not only that, give it a solid foundation for the dry pour slab. Making sure that I prep more ground than I need, so as I lay down the forms and the slab, I'm not restricted for space, and I know that the ground is solid, compacted, and ready to go. Next step in this process, I'm leveling out the forms using the dirt to help me out. All the while looking at the levels, not really complicated. You know, it takes a little bit of focus and patience, but yeah, not too hard, not too shabby. After the dirt's leveled, the forms are leveled, the ground's compacted, I'm going ahead and backfilling the forms here so the concrete doesn't seep out the side, leak out the side here. I noticed that, you know, from my past slab, that in the inside you want to keep it kind of clean. You don't want too many mounds, how I have on the outside here, because what happens if you, it didn't happen to me on the first one, but if or when you pull off the form, there's going to be little loops and bounds inside there. So I try to keep the inside the form nice and clean, so when you pull it off, the slab is super nice and clean all around, if that makes sense. At this point, pretty much ready to go. I'm using some old pavers to go ahead and keep the form in place, just for a little bit of extra support. It's all ready to go, looking good. Gonna go ahead and make this whole walkway right here into a nice floating pathway with some rocks around it. Stay tuned. Here I'm using a metal rake to go ahead and level out that concrete layer. So at this point, this is all concrete here, leveling out. Wherever I see any little voids, I'm trying to push it in, you know, into those little spots. Almost ready to go, starting to lay the mortar. Here I'm doing something a little different I haven't really seen, but I'm compacting the concrete here. Just go ahead and get any air bubbles out of there. I haven't really seen anybody else do it. I'm going to go ahead and experiment with it, see how it turns out. I figure if I go ahead and compact it, take out those air pockets, make everything compressed, that it should possibly, in theory, help out with making it solid. Here I'm hitting the side with the rubber mallet to go ahead and get those extra air pockets out. And you can't really see, but what's going on is as I hit it, it's almost, how can I word it? It's actually like going down a little bit. Like wherever their little voids are, it's falling down even more. Wow. What happens is that first slab I did, I ended up not doing this, and I had to redo it again. I ended up putting a layer of mortar mix over it. So that's why I'm, I guess I'm going a little crazy when it comes to the compacting and the air bubbles. What happens is the first slab, I did it, I watered it. As soon as it dried, there was like little pockets going on, and there was like, little folds, kind of like an earthquake when the earth goes down. So after I fixed it in the second time, I'm going and, learning from trial and error here. With that being said, after I fixed the first slab, came out super clean. So just learning from trial and error. Learned from the first one, I had to fix it. Now I'm taking all that information from that first slab, which I love, looks great, into this second slab. Putting on that last layer of mortar here. I got the mask on, not really trying to breathe this stuff in. The first time, I don't think I wore a mask. I was like, probably not a great idea. But yeah, go ahead and put in this last layer of mortar. It's pretty much cement and sand, which gives you a clean, solid finish. Like I was mentioning in the beginning, some guy, Zane everything is the guy that I seen do this. And it makes sense. You know, the top comes out super clean. No aggregate, no really, little rocks at the top. And works well. I like it. At this point, it's going to take some patience, some focus. You're going to have to go over, then over again, then fill in the voids, screed it again. You know, I got this look on my face like, I'm almost done. You know, I don't want to mess it up now. But, you know, I mean, with this thing, it's not really about messing up. You could always go back, fix it. You know, there's a lot of other stuff going on in this world than, you know, a concrete slab. But, yeah, with that being said, you know, you can always fix it, especially with the dry pour. You got enough time to fix it. You can always put more mortar mix down. I'm trying to learn a little bit something, too, from the first one. I'm trying to keep the edges kind of clean. And, you know, right here, I guess I'm overthinking. I'm walking around, you know, just wasting time, I guess. But overthinking it. But then, boom, I'm back. That's what I was probably doing, looking for a shovel. Little hand shovel to go and fill in those voids. Still takes some patience, you know, but it's cool. Could be doing other things, you know what I'm saying, you know, worse things, but I'm here making a concrete slab, so that's cool. I actually enjoy it. You know, just bought this house not too long ago, so got a lot of fixing up to do, which is cool. You know, I got a little family. I got a wife, a son, so, you know, I own 2 businesses. So I'm just here, making a little floaty pathway, gonna put some rocks. I did the front. I just started doing this little DIY video deal, but I had some other things I already did, so I'll probably go back and, you know, well, not probably. I had to go back and redo some of those, so I'll probably put those on video also. And, I'm just sitting here screeding, filling in voids, screeding, filling in voids. This is pretty much what it is right here. Patience, focus, screeding. You know, we're here in Florida, so it's super hot out here. Just having fun. You know, with this dry pour concrete, it's kind of cool. Like I said, you can mess up, you can go back. I was actually coming out of a Home Depot, some older guy was like super old, maybe like 70, 80, was like, hey, I'm tired of laying concrete. Yeah, see me walking out with some concrete and some mortar mix, and I was like, hey man, you heard about this new dry pour deal? You know, that slab I'm standing on behind is super strong. And when I actually said I messed it up, I had bought the wrong, the wrong product that I put on top to make it clean. It started out clean, but like I said, the voids were happening. So I ended up chipping away that whole top piece, you know, of the product I got. It was like some kind of masonry cement. It really wasn't that strong, so it was kind of chipping away. The voids were happening. So I had bought like a pick, and I'm picking at it. And so by the time I got to the concrete, then this after it fully cured, maybe only like a week, really. And I got to the concrete, and I'm trying to break it, and it's 4 inches thick, and this thing's not going anywhere. So this dry pour deal is it's solid, man. I was actually trying to go ahead and break it with a pick, and it just wasn't happening. So what I did was I took off as much of that masonry cement that I could, because it really wasn't that strong. Then I made the form again, laid the mortar mix over the whole thing. It's almost like a cake, and like with the frosting or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I put the whole mortar mix all over it in a new form. Came out super solid, you know. But my point is that when I took off that first layer and I was trying to break through the concrete, it wasn't going anywhere. So this dry pour deal, it was solid all the way through. Like I said, the pick was just bouncing off. I was like, you know what, let me chill out before, you know what I'm saying, I hurt myself or something. But my point is that dry pour concrete slab behind this one is super solid. I actually tried to break it, didn't break. Yeah, I think we're possibly coming up on the end of the video here. I think this is like that last little screed. I'm trying to keep the sides clean. I noticed that when the mortar mix would cake up on the side of the form as I'm screeding, it was going up a level. So I'm like, you know what, I got to keep the sides kind of clean. So as I screed, it's going along the form opposed to, like, you know, I don't even know how much it was, but maybe a centimeter up from the mortar mix that was starting to collect on the side here. But yeah, I believe this is that last little screed before I start rolling it with the roller. Oh, with the roller, I forgot the exact numbers. But the first time I did it, I used a thicker roller, and I realized it was kind of picking up some of that cement mix. So this time I went around and got a smaller, you know, a thinner roller, and it came out clean. It came out cleaner. It wasn't picking up the mortar mix. So right here, this just screeded. So even here, it's still pretty clean. You know what I'm saying? You don't see any rocks or anything like this. It's screeded. So in a second, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that roller. Boom, bada bing, bada boom, and that's it. You just keep it real nice and easy and go over the top. You know, it gives it a super clean mix. I was trying to almost do it like you paint. I'm like, nah, let me chill out and just kind of drag it as I go. Kind of comes out better like this as you pick it up and then drag it, opposed to like doing it like you would paint a wall, you know, like that V type of, you know, motion, up and down, diagonal type of deal. But yeah, just pull it like this, boom. Sometimes, not even sometimes, I'm brand new at this. This is my second slab in my life I ever, you know, laid. But I forgot what it's called. I forgot. It's like hatching or something like this, where you go left and right and then you go up and down. So make sure that as you're doing this, that roller doesn't collect a gang of dust either. Like right here, see, I'm kind of pulling off some of the dust because the first one, as I was doing it, it started like digging into my finish. I was like, dang, you know. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm just picking it up, pulling, not putting any pressure. So I'm kind of just letting it roll over the top. And this is stuff that I learned from all these people, you know, the Cajun country. The Zane guy, I got to get this guy's name. Zane something everything. This dude, I don't know where he learned it, but he did the mortar mix deal, and it made so much sense. So he's the only guy I've seen kind of do, the only guy I've seen do that. But boom, that's it. Looking pretty good. Looks good. We're here on the final step. Final few steps, but the misting process right here to go ahead and get that top layer starting to cure. Then you're going to do this 1 hour, wait another hour, you're going to mist again from what they say, then another hour mist, and then after the surface starts to harden, then you go ahead and start to soak it, let the water soak all the way through the mortar mix and the concrete, and you're pretty much good to go. You know, the slab right behind this came out super solid. Like I said earlier, I tried to destroy it, didn't work. So yeah, I'm super confident in this. It's 4 inches, nice and solid. You know, it's May 6th and Saturday. So yeah, I'll probably take the forms off in about a week. Keep on water there just to make sure. You can take it off in like 24 hours, but be on the safe side. Look nice and clean. I love it. So enjoy.